Hey guys, I'm Jacqueline.
And I'm Marcella.
And we just got back from the movies. We just saw The Rise of Skywalker.
Yes, guys, we have so much to talk about. I feel like this review is going to be super
so
long because a lot happened and we have so much that we want to talk about with you guys.
Go grab some snacks. You'll be here a while. Non-spoilery. I know that it's getting mixed reviews. I know that a lot of people online are not too happy with it. We loved it. We actually really enjoyed the whole movie. We had a lot of fun watching it, and it was just Star Wars. We laughed. We cried. I think I sobbed the entire second half of the movie.
Yeah, I was super happy about this movie. It's the best out of all of the
It's best out of the three of them. It was better than The Last Jedi. It was fantastic, honestly. Like, I think that there's obviously issues specifically with the ending that we're gonna talk about in the spoiler part, but overall it was a great time.
I would give it like an A minus.
It's literally in between that, like an A minus. Like, it wasn't like perfect, you guys, like, but like we do have stuff that we really want to talk about with you, but I think it was Star Wars, you guys.
Yeah.
It gave us all the feelings of Star Wars that we love. It made us really excited. We were cheering. My heart was pounding. My heart was breaking.
Yeah.
It was just
like a lot of emotions and...
Yeah. And they do a really great job of, like, honoring a lot of, like, the other stories. Like, they do a great job, like, giving like little like nuggets to like the past movies and so like I think that like if you love Star Wars you'll love the movie. I think you'll enjoy it at least, you know.
So just go see it and decide for yourself, but we're gonna get into the details about
go away because we're about to spoil like the whole movie. I will say,
if you don't want to be spoiled before you see this movie, stay off the internet because there's everything on there already. There's videos, there's GIFs, there's like
everything.
Like the movie is on the internet. So
even if you have things like, even if you have like keywords muted, I promise you'll still stumble into something.
Yeah, because don't go on the internet. Just go sit until you see it because you're gonna get spoiled. It's gonna happen. So
now you have seen it. Last chance. If you haven't seen it, we're about to spoil literally the entire movie, and that will suck. So go away if you really haven't seen it.
So right in the beginning, I will say that we get right into the fact that Palpatine is back, and they waste no time.
There's like a time jump or something.
Right in like the crawl, like the beginning crawl, it's like, oh yeah, like Palpatine's back, and Kylo is trying to find and is like looking for him, whatever. And yeah, it was like super quick, and it was just like really fast, and I didn't really like that at first, but
I was very...
now it doesn't bother me though, because obviously we couldn't like explain it completely in the beginning, because the movie would have been like another hour long if we like went into that and stuff. I will say that there's a lot of just like things that weren't explained that I wish that they explained about it, because they didn't really fully explain why he's back or like how he was hiding. It was just
Vader
like,
literally threw him, like,
yeah, it wasn't explained fully, but
yeah,
I mean,
I don't know. Details, plot holes. My first note is hot Kylo Ren fighting. I just want to take a second.
I literally wrote hot AF.
Yeah, like seriously.
Yeah, our notes are just like really.
The beginning sequence, it's like so cool. It's like the sequence of him like fighting and like the red lighting. It's just so cool, and he's like strutting his way, and you know we go into like this cave where Palpatine is, and it's so eerie and dark, and you're literally like, what the hell is going on when you're watching that, because
we're finding out that there's like this Sith planet that we've never been here before. Exegol, I think it was called, or something like that.
Yeah, but I think I thought it was really like sad how Palpatine was basically like told him that every voice that you've ever heard, it's been me all along. Like,
he's had such a horrible life.
Had such a horrible life. Like, he was, in certain ways, he was manipulated just like Vader was. Like, it was just, like, their minds were just always controlled by those by the Palpatine. Like, it was just so frustrating, and it's really sad, because, like, I felt really bad for him. And, oh, you hear, like, the Darth Vader music, which was very frequent in this movie. There was a lot of the Darth Vader soundtrack playing.
That.
I love that.
It was played when he was, like, become what your grandfather could not. And I love the music is utilized so well.
Yeah.
In this movie.
One thing I will point out is we were kind of talking about, my dad mentioned that bringing back Palpatine, while it's like awesome and everything, it like low-key like erases everything that happened in the other movies.
I mean, it erases like Anakin.
Yeah,
like,
killing him.
Yeah.
Like I wish it was a little bit more explained. Like I wish that like we had more answers to like what exactly, like where has he been? Like yes, he was hiding, but like I don't know, there could have been a little bit more with that, I think.
A little bit more, yeah, because it's like, it was, again, in the beginning, it was
right
just very,
in,
like, jumped in, it wasn't explained, and it, yeah, that...
They tried to explain it as the movie went on, but, like, honestly,
they didn't really give a
reason,
yeah, you just kind of were just like, alright, this is happening. I mean, we all knew he was coming back anyway, so I think that's why. It
was literally like, alright, so the audience knows he's coming back, let's just get it, let's just get
it's
it.
Like, so
let's not deal with it.
He's back, we're not gonna explain how he's back, but he's back, and, like, there's Kylo, he's talking to him right away, like 2 minutes in, but it's fine.
And he tells her, you know, you gotta kill the girl, I want all, like, the Jedi dead, and you have to kill her, and I love that he didn't want to kill her. Like, he wasn't planning on killing her the entire movie.
It's so funny how, like, the whole movie was, like, this, like, Reylo chase.
It was, yeah.
Which was wonderful, and... Like, they just won't kill each other. Like, even when they're fighting, it's not to kill each other. It's literally just, like...
foreplay.
They're just, like, having, like, a good time fighting. Like, they're not...
Yeah.
They never, like...
It's releasing their frustrations and everything like that. It's like, yeah, but it's never maliciously in a way. Like, and their banter was just so good. Oh my gosh.
Their chemistry and, like, the intensity of all of their scenes was, like... wonderful.
Like, listen, that is the best part of The Last Jedi, is the Reylo. So to have it like in this movie, I felt like it was like 10 times more intense because of everything that had happened in the past. I feel like to jump right back into it, the emotions have escalated. Their history is a little bit more angsty. So it's just very, very it's so palpable. Like you just feel it when you're watching it. And you know, that's Adam and Daisy.
His desire for her to join him is just like...
Yeah. Adam Driver and Daisy really did such a great job. They're so great to watch on screen. Like,
I love the way... Yeah, I love the way that they use the Force bond in this movie. It was so cool when they were fighting, and it was so much cooler than the last one because they were actually, like, fighting each other.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like, oh, like, I see you, and, like, you could see me type thing.
It was like... Like, you know how in The Last Jedi they had that scene when they, like, touch hands, right? In this one... It was like double that. Like they were fighting through the Force
on a new level.
It was so cool to watch. Like it really, really was.
And how like the scenes kept changing. That was like one of my favorite things in the movie was all of those scenes with them, with the fighting, and even like the dialogue was just like I was dying.
No, we were dying in the theater.
We were dying. Like I can't even tell you how many times like we were like hitting each other. Like
oh my god, it was so intense. We're gonna go through probably like everyone because they were like the best thing ever.
Yeah.
Okay, Storm Pilot. Oh my gosh.
I was so happy.
The amount of Poe and Finn, I was so happy with that.
Because that is what we missed in the last one. Like those two not like working together in the last one was just like that bothered me so much.
Yeah,
and because I love their dynamic and all of their scenes were wonderful in this. I thought Poe was really great in this.
Oh, I loved Poe so much.
He kind of like gave off kind of like Han vibes to me.
Yeah, he was so cool. Like I loved all of the scenes with like the three of them.
The three of them, it was giving me like original trilogy vibes. It was great. Yeah,
there was a lot of moments like when they go and they rescue Chewie and there's. It really did, and I love the banter between Poe and Rey because they're both pilots. So like I love like that initial meeting with the two of them because they just got introduced in The Last Jedi. So I liked that we came into this and like they were really close friends. I really love that, and I love that they the banter initially when they were talking about like the Millennium Falcon and she's like you went into hyperspeed and like they were just bantering about it and I thought it was just so much fun to watch and all the dialogue in this was really great and it just made me feel like so happy and to see Chewie with them and like C-3PO it was really nice. It had a lot of the original trilogy, especially
It did, which is what we've wanted. So
yeah, especially really nice. At the end of the movie, they get like that iconic hug with the three of them.
I love that. I got so like emotional when that happened because it just reminded me of Han, Luke, and Leia, and I was just like, oh,
it was so good.
It was wonderful, yeah.
I even love the scenes when they were in the Falcon together, and like Chewie was there piloting, and Poe was piloting, and Finn was there, and just seeing them all together. Like the original trilogy, it was just
the fight
really
scenes with
rewarding.
them in the Falcon were so good too.
Yeah, it was so rewarding because like I felt like that's what we've been missing. You know, we established these characters in The Force Awakens, and then they all were on their own off journeys. They were all doing their own thing in the last movie. So I really love that in this one we got to see them be together and go on that exciting adventure together.
Exactly.
Yeah, it just, that friendship was such a huge part of the story. And a friendship is such a huge part of Star Wars. So I love that they really highlighted that, and they really made it a point to give each relationship the attention it deserved. Everybody had great moments, like Finn and Rey. I love seeing that friendship again. I missed that as well. Yeah. I also loved, like, obviously Finn and Poe, but Poe and Rey, just everybody had their own moments. Yeah, like, it wasn't just like, you know, just let's just focus on Poe and Finn because they knew each other or whatever. Like, no, like, they made sure that they were all in there. And even Chewie, I loved how he had great stuff with Poe. I thought that was really fun. And it was great. It was such a nice feeling to watch. And Poe on the Falcon, it reminded me of that quote from The Force Awakens when he's like, "Oh, that's one hell of a pilot," and then to see him actually on like the Millennium Falcon, that made me really happy. I'm a big Poe fan.
I was so happy for him in this movie.
Very happy for him. Leia in this movie, you know, obviously with Carrie Fisher passing and everything, it was hard to tell what they had. We knew that they had some footage of her, but to see what they did with it was amazing. I loved what they did with it. I thought it was so nice, and I loved that she was training Rey. I thought that was really cool. Like, I love that training sequence. And then, oh my god, when she's training and then she feels like Kylo Ren, like Ben is like looking for her, and they were connecting through like the Vader mask that was there, and it was like going through like flashbacks of like her life, and it was so good. Like that moment, like that was just like the initial, that was like the beginning of it, where, you know, you could really see their fate is intertwined, you know. And I loved, oh my god, the intensity of Reylo, Jesus Christ.
So Leia, we find out in this movie that she had been training as a Jedi, which is very interesting because we knew nothing about that, and they kind of threw that in there that she'd been training, and then she ended up like kind of like hanging up her lightsaber, so to say, and gave it up and stopped training. And she had a lightsaber, which is crazy to me.
That was really exciting to see.
It was exciting to see, which it makes sense though, because in Last Jedi, I mean, Leia's like flying around using the Force, so I guess it makes sense that she was very powerful. Was training at one point, yeah, but the way that they shot that scene and like the mask come off, and like you see like they used like a Luke and a Leia like from when they were younger, I thought that was really, I didn't expect that. That was really cool. I didn't expect
that was a cool surprise that they threw that in. I thought that was very nice. I think that the way that they handled Leia's death in this movie was obviously so heartbreaking. That's when I started crying. I feel like that was like the middle part of the movie, and then from there on, it was just like crying. Like, I was just so emotional, and the way that they did it, like, oh my god. Obviously, we're gonna talk about that Reylo water fight scene, but I just want to go through Leia first. We want to talk about her character and how she came and she used all of her energy to reach out to Ben, and she calls him Ben, and then obviously Rey and Ben, they have this moment of they know that she's gone, and it's heartbreaking, and just the way it was done was so beautiful, obviously, but it was so sad. Like, you just see her like laying down, you see her hand, and
sad,
I think Chewie finding out was really what got me. Like, I was like crying. I like started to cry because,
oh my god, like R2 was with her. Yeah, oh my god, and then R2, but Chewie's like roar, and he just like goes to his knees. And it's just like...
It's like Chewie's lost, like, Han, and now he lost Leia. It was just... And Luke, it was...
Luke, and then Leia, it was just... I could cry, like, just thinking about it right now, but... Yeah, that really got me with Chewie. That was devastating.
That was so heartbreaking, so heartbreaking. And I think that even at the end, obviously we'll talk about Ben dying, but when Leia, it seemed like she was waiting for her son to go too. Like then she was done because she wanted him to come home, and
yeah,
we'll go through that. But yeah, obviously Leia. I love that. And it was like the
a lot of tears.
Even Lando was like, "Give Leia my love."
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I thought that was great, and I loved
her scene with Rey when she gives her the lightsaber.
Yeah,
that was a great scene too.
Great. Obviously, it was so sad when they were all standing around and they were like, "Goodbye, princess." It was just so hard to watch.
It was hard, yeah.
So
but I think that they really did it. It was beautiful.
It was beautiful. It was
the
beautifully
way that they
done.
did it, and
they did a great job with it. They really did. And like I said, it was just Chewie.
Yeah.
All right. On a happier note, let's go through the Reylo. All right. Let's just go all into it. We can't not go through every scene. All right.
Oh my goodness, I love. One of my favorite lines was when he was like. He was so sure, but he's like, you'll take my hand. Like, I'm gonna turn you to the dark side and you will take my hand. Like,
and he's like, I'll find you.
The intensity of like him following her throughout this whole movie, like, I can't.
Like, literally, he was searching everywhere for her. And he knew what she was doing and he wanted to be a part of it and do it with her. And I think that the intensity, and when that one scene, when, he reaches and he gets the necklace from her.
Yeah.
That was hot. That was hot, okay? He literally, like, took it out and it was just, oh my god. He's, like, storming through the hallway holding her necklace and I'm, oh my god. And he says he's not gonna kill her, and I love that, like, that he wasn't gonna kill her. Like, the whole time he loves her.
I think one of my other favorite parts with them was when he's asking her to join him, and he, like, it reminded me so much of Anakin because he, like, mentions, like, destroying Palpatine and, like, them ruling together, and, like, it was giving me major, like, Anakin vibes.
Listen, the Anakin and Padme love story hurts my heart.
And this doesn't hurt your heart. This, like,
no, but that's what I mean. Like, honestly, why does the love stories in Star Wars, like, break my soul? Like,
literally.
Every single relationship, Anakin and Padme can't live happily. Reylo can't live happily. Han and Leia had marriage trouble, but then they got together. But then, like, they both died. Like, everything is just so sad, and everything hurts my heart. And it just, yeah, I literally have, when Kylo Ren points, I was like, shall we destroy the city? Kylo Ren points, he loved her so much, I hate my life. Because that's, like, the mood. I was just, like, so much angst, because you know how much he cares about her, and he just wants her to rule with him. Like, damn it, you know, Padme didn't want to rule with Anakin, and, like, okay, like, I understand that. He just killed a bunch of younglings, like, alright. But, listen.
I mean, I still would have rolled.
I would have rolled with it.
I understand why you didn't want to, Padme.
I get it, but, like, I would have done it, and I would have ruled with Ben Solo, too, because damn it, why didn't she just take his hand? I think she wanted to. We wrote that in
no, she even said that she wanted to take his hand, but she wanted it to be Ben. She wanted it to be Ben's hand, and, like,
no, but when he offers it again before she jumps off and, like, Poe and Finn save her, I think, oh, can you imagine if
she looked like she wanted to take it so bad, and honestly, I think she was really about to if they didn't show up.
Oh my god, where's the fanfic? Please write it and please link it down in the comments.
I mean, obviously, we're not stupid guys. We know that couldn't have happened.
Yeah, I get it, but listen, it's nice to dream. Yeah. So the scene that was teased in the trailer really a lot when she's like, she senses him, and it's after that really great scene, the fight sequence with Poe and Finn and Rey, and they're all like, they were in like that quicksand thing and they all went down, and like that was really cool. But after that, when she senses that he's coming and like the music is playing and everything's really excited, right? And Chewie gets taken prisoner, and oh my god, our hearts like dropped at this scene when Chewie is taken prisoner. We're like, oh my god, what are they gonna do here, right? And then you had Rey and Ben, and they're both like using the Force to hold the ship.
And with the lightning and...
Oh my god, and then the lightning comes out of her hands and the ship explodes.
It really seemed like Chewie was a goner. It really did. It was devastating. I think everybody in the theater gasped when that happened in our theater, and... Yeah, with like the lightning, and it's like right there, and then it's like she's a Palpatine, and
yeah, I mean
I love his face though after that happens, because he's so like
upset.
He's not cold. He has emotion on his face. He feels bad for her.
Yeah, but it's like the light and like the dark side of the Force were like, it was like the lightsaber in The Last Jedi all over again. But yeah, that scene was so intense. Like they're so evenly matched in that way. Like they're both so powerful, and then yeah, the lightning kind of, obviously you find out she is a Palpatine and everything, and like we kind of like speculated that she could be a Palpatine, because
that was always one of our theories.
It was always a really strong theory, and I think it was really cool that they did it, honestly. Like having her be a Palpatine I think was really great, and I think that I thought the scene with her and Palpatine was terrifying and scary. Like that scene.
He looked awesome though, Palpatine.
He
coming
looked
back.
amazing.
He looked really scary. He looked terrifying.
He looked terrifying,
and
yeah.
I mean, Palpatine, very evil.
That fucker has caused so much issues in my life. I was so happy when they saved Chewie, when Poe and Finn went in there and they got him out, and then it was so crazy. They were all like lined up there, ready to like get shot, and then all of a sudden, Hux comes through, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm the spy," and
that was so random.
That was so, and he saves them, and he gets them out of there, and then eventually he dies, like shortly after that.
I don't know how I felt about that. I don't know if it was just for a shock factor to be like, oh my gosh, Hux.
I guess it explains why he was so angry at Kylo Ren in all the other movies, because he like had a really deep hatred towards him. But
yeah, but at the same time, like, I don't know. I mean, I didn't really. It was
like random.
It was random. It was whatever.
It was actually
just like
it was kind of funny actually that they did that. But yeah. I like that they were able to get Chewie out. That's the most important part of it.
Yeah, that Chewie was okay.
Chewie was okay. I also loved that each scene, you know, in the beginning of the movie, I felt like a lot of the scenes with, like, he was Kylo Ren. Like, Ben really utilized the mask. We see him fixing it, and he is Kylo Ren in his mind. He's really trying to be that version of himself. But obviously, you know, English majors, we really love the symbolism of the mask, how it's cracked, because
even Rey mentioned, she's like, I see the cracks in your mask.
Oh, it's so great.
Yeah.
It's so great. Like, I love how even though he had a mask on, it wasn't fully the mask that he had on in The Force Awakens, because it was altered because of everything that had happened. And yeah, obviously I love that, but I love that he took it off frequently to talk to her as a person, because he didn't want her to see the mask at some points. Like in the beginning he did, because he really wanted to be that intimidating, fierce leader.
Yeah. But
I really like that at certain moments he really took it off, like when they're like circling each other and he's like telling her all these things, that she's a Palpatine.
Oh yeah, and
yeah, I love that he had the mask off to talk to her. And like when he asked her to join him again, I thought that was great. And then the water scene, and when they come in, okay, first of all, the setting of that, being back like on like the Death Star and it's destroyed.
Yeah.
And we're back in that room from Return of the Jedi.
I love that.
So cool. Like I love
I got
that they
like
brought
chills.
that back.
It's like just like thinking back to
everything that happened, and it's like, and you see like all like the iconic landmarks that are in the Death Star that are so vital in the movies, and I thought that was great. And obviously it's like all destroyed, and like the scenery, you see like some stormtrooper helmets like all lined up, like seeing like the decay of everything.
Yeah.
Oh wow, like that was great. And yeah, obviously Dark Rey was a vision, which a lot of people guessed. Yeah. It was a vision. It was,
but it was cool to see her fight herself a little bit for.
Oh yeah, I think I loved. Obviously, I liked the metaphor of that. I thought the metaphor of that was really great. Like her fighting that person within herself, because throughout the whole movie, she really is battling that inner demon of, is she evil? Is she, you know, like, is she the dark side of the force? And because she's Palpatine's granddaughter. That
and not knowing like who she is too is a really big like part of like her storyline
but I think she always had that fear, especially when the lightning came out. Like she always had
the fear of like she doesn't know who she is, so like
what if she goes too far?
Yeah.
So I thought that was really cool. Like I like the metaphor, that was great. Like the visual metaphor of them fighting, it was awesome. That must have been so cool for Daisy Ridley to shoot. That must have been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And then that water fight scene was probably one of my favorite scenes of the movie. I loved that whole sequence, how like they're like jumping and the waves are crashing, they're like flipping, and
yeah, that was filmed really cool.
It's so awesome to watch. And I love that they're like circling each other as they're fighting.
It's so funny how when you watch, they're like, they won't kill each other.
They won't kill each other. There's so many moments where the opening is right there, but like they can't do it. And you even see when he has it, where she's like kneeling and he has it and he's about to, and then he doesn't, because then that's when Leia died. Yeah, and then she stabs him. She stabs him, like she takes that moment.
Yeah, but she doesn't stab him to kill him. That wasn't a mortal.
No, it was just kind of like to get him off, like
just kind of like end the fight. Yeah, whatever. But yeah, and then when it was like when Rey kind of drops her knees and she's like, Leia, and she heals him.
Oh my god, and she's crying and he's like looking at her like, and there's just such an intimacy in that moment and a vulnerability, and I think
there's like comfort in that moment though too, because you know it's Leia. Yeah. And in that moment, they were both feeling that death and the weight of it.
And somebody that was important to both of them.
And yeah, that was really, really well done. Like you really feel just both of their devastation and their grief.
And the way
them sharing that moment. And I can't get over how intense their scenes were in this movie. Like, yes, their scenes were intense in The Last Jedi, like all their scenes together, but like in this movie, it was like on a different level, and it was done very well, like the progression of it, I think, up until like the end. Yeah. And I can't get over it.
Yeah, I loved every single fight scene. I also liked the fight scene that was with the scenery changing and with the Vader mask. And then once the Vader mask falls, it's like he knows where she is, like immediately.
Yes.
And
that was great too.
That fight scene was really cool. I liked the coloration of that scene was really cool. It was like a white room. And like the red that really stuck out was his lightsaber and like the cracks in the mask. Like I thought the lighting of that was really really cool and very like contrasting.
I loved the scenery like of them, with them fighting. It was really like you could tell it was very thought out.
Very thought out. Yeah, it was really great to watch. It really was. And yeah, that water scene though. Oh my god, as she tells him that she would have taken Ben's hand.
Oh my god!
I knew she would have taken Ben's hand. Like I knew it.
And I read the fanfic. She like says it. Like she like admitted that she wanted to, and like he knew that she wanted to take his hand.
But I think he wanted to hear that, and I think my sister had mentioned this in the car that like that obviously Leia dying was a huge shift in him. But I think that hearing her say like I would have done it for Ben. I think that's a huge.
That got to him too, of course.
Yeah, I think that was such a huge thing for him because he knew that she would felt a certain way towards him, but he didn't know. And I think getting that validation was freeing in a way for Ben to kind of be like, okay, I could try to be that person. And then what was obviously really holding him back was his dad.
I mean, even Rey in this, she says to him, like, you're haunted. Like, you can't stop thinking about that moment with Han. And that really was what was haunting him, and he hated himself for it. I love that they brought Han back. And that he got that moment with him, and how it was like you had said to me. You had said that it's like a kind of like it was like a redo of the scene from
It was
Force
a redo,
Awakens, but
it was line for line.
Yeah, and
it was such
I think I was such in shock in that moment that I wasn't like realizing that it was like actually like
I was still crying from Leia.
Yeah.
But then I started crying again when Han came, but I was...
And when he's like the whole like I know what I have to do, and he throws the lightsaber. And the whole theater like cheered.
Yeah.
Like that was it was really exciting.
Because, you know, that's what you wanted him to do in The Force Awakens.
And I feel like he needed that. Like he couldn't move on from that until he had that closure, and like he had like that moment with his dad, and he was able to move on from it. And
yeah, it was fantastically like acted. Like even like the hand, like Han like brings up the hand to his son, and oh my god, when he comes and he's like, hey kid, and it's just so like casual, like the way he comes up to him. And I think that Ben didn't think that he would ever be able to move on from that, because how do you move on from something so terrible?
Yeah.
So and he's like, I don't know if I have the strength to do it. And then he mentions that he can't, obviously, like he mentions Leia, and it's just such an emotional scene. And but yeah, I loved the word for word reenactment of The Force Awakens. I thought that was such a great idea. Like that was such a genius way to have that settled, because I think a lot of people also, everyone's like, you know, he's a villain, he killed Han Solo. Like that was such a huge part of his story. I feel like we needed that scene before he was able to have the redemption. Yeah. It was a great moment of the redemption. Like him throwing the lightsaber, it was perfect. And then later on when he comes in and he's got like the blaster, and it's just such, he comes in like Han Solo with the blaster, and that moment when like, okay, first of all, when Rey gives him the lightsaber, he's got the lightsaber, and then he has like all like the Knights of Ren are like surrounding him, and he kind of like shrugs, and it's like the Han shrug. I love that. That was thank you, Adam Driver. Yeah, that was so wonderful. And he nailed it. He really nailed it. He was Han Solo's son in that movie, and that moment was just so rewarding to see. It was. We're gonna talk about that a little later on. I'll start crying again. We're getting a little bit over our heads talking about that right now. But Luke also was in this movie. Luke, obviously, that was so exciting when he showed up to us. I feel like we had to have him in this movie. Yeah. But the way that he came out. You know what's funny is I didn't expect to see him in the movie like that, like talking and stuff as a Force Ghost. Great. I thought maybe we'd see like him as a Force Ghost, but I did not expect for him to talk. Conversation. Yeah, I didn't expect that. So I was really, really happy about that. Yeah, I love that. I love the moment, like, he gets the lightsaber and then he walks out. And I like the whole audience was cheering when that happened, obviously. And when he tells her, like, the thing about being a Palpatine and how blood is in everything, and how he talked about how, like, fear and stuff, and how like, they knew that she was a Palpatine. Like, confronting fear is, like, the destiny of a Jedi and all of that, and how, like, you have to confront it in order to win and all of that. Yeah, I really love that conversation. Obi-Wan and Yoda taught him well. Yeah. Like, it was such a great, like, he like the music too, like when he shows up, like, oh my god, the music in this movie was so like uplifting. Like every once in a while you hear the Darth Vader theme, obviously the Kylo Ren theme, like, and even the Leia theme. It was just, the music was just wonderful. Even like the Force, it brought me back. Yeah, it was so powerful. And it made the moments Star Wars. Like, it really did. Like, hearing, like, the music at that moment was just really, like, I had, like, chills watching that scene. And I love that they brought him back. When Luke used the Force to bring his ship out of the water, like, seeing Rey in Luke's ship, I didn't like, that was another thing that I didn't see coming. I never would have thought that would have happened. So that was a really, really just wonderful surprise that she was flying in Luke's ship, and that like he was the one who like brought it. It was like such a throwback to the original. Like, I love that they kept it. They brought so much from the other movies into this. I thought that was really great to see. It gave it so much heart. Yeah, it really did. And okay, where was Anakin, guys? Where was Anakin Skywalker? That is probably one of the biggest. Okay, maybe not the biggest problem, but there's two problems with this movie. We'll talk about the other one later. Later on, I know what it is. But
Where was Anakin? That's actually maybe my #1 problem, because I see the other problem, I see why they did it, but like Anakin, like I get Anakin's voice was in this, like during that
wasn't
scene,
enough. I wanted Force Ghost Anakin.
I wanted Force Ghost Anakin, and I don't understand why we couldn't have Force Ghost Anakin when we had Force Ghost Luke and we had Han Solo show up. Like, why couldn't, like, I really wanted, if we weren't gonna get a scene of Anakin and talking to Ben, like, I really wanted that, but I wasn't like, I wasn't expecting that, because I don't know, I wasn't getting my hopes up about that, but I really wanted to just see Anakin in this, and we didn't see
even
him.
as a Force Ghost, even like at the end of the movie with like them in the background or something. Like, I felt like at the end when they
that,
showed
or your
Luke
mom,
and Leia, I think it was, Anakin should have been there.
I think it was your dad that mentioned, like, when we like are hearing all the voices of like telling Rey to rise, they should have like once she rose, it should have been all of them behind her or something. Like, that would have made the scene even more powerful, and not just the voices, because like, yes, the voices are cool and like you can obviously recognize the voices, but I think that seeing it visually would have been more powerful and would have like given more to that scene. And yeah, that's the only,
I would have stopped even harder than I was.
Yeah, like I really wish that we just saw them behind her, like they threw them in. And
yeah, I was just really missing Anakin. How are you gonna end the Skywalker series, the whole franchise?
Especially because like Palpatine's Anakin's villain, like,
yeah,
too, so like I don't know,
I just felt like we could have had something with Anakin. Something would have been like, what they gave us was nice and everything. I just wanted more of Anakin, and I'm a little disappointed that we didn't get him. Lando was another great addition in this movie. It was really nice.
It was exciting, yeah,
to see him with our gang and with Chewie and the Falcon. Like, when they came at the end, I was like crying when they came out at the end to save them, and Poe is like, nobody's coming for us, and then Chewie comes out with Lando, and it was just such a happy moment. I loved that. And I love seeing Lando with Finn and with Poe, and
well, we had a really great scene with Poe and Lando when he had told them he was like, we had each other, like that's how we won. Yeah. And yeah, it was just like so many feels. It's like, stop it, don't talk like that.
Yeah, because Poe was like, I'm not ready, because he felt like he had to take over being the general, and then Lando was like, you don't have to do it alone. And then that's when he went over to Finn, and they all ended up like being in charge, like together, and figuring it out like a team, and that was just so nice to see. And Finn, I also love that they made him Force sensitive. It was hinted at in The Force Awakens that he was Force sensitive, but I thought that was really cool. Like, he even felt Rey when she like died, and like,
well, he said he was like a feeling.
It was
so
like
I'm
a feeling.
That's like, like a hint that
there was like a little bit in there that really implied that, and I thought that was cool.
In Force Awakens, wasn't he using a lightsaber at some point?
Yeah, exactly.
Which was kind of like not explained. It was kind of like, why is he able to use?
I feel like Finn is a character that they could really still explore. Like, I know, I'm pretty sure John Boyega said that he would come back if like the other cast will come back or something like that, but I feel like Finn is a character that they could still really dive into, because he's such an interesting story. I love that they had like other stormtroopers that rebelled. Like, I thought that was really great to see, and I love that Finn, it was like he wasn't the only one that was a stormtrooper that left. I thought that was really great, and I thought she was really awesome.
Again, like, I just really loved all of the Finn and Poe that we got in this. I really love their speech that they gave. It was like talking about how like our mothers and fathers fought for us, we won't like die. That was really powerful.
I love that whole thing, like when they got everybody there and there was a lot of them, and they were like, we're gonna bring the war to them, and they really made their move. And I thought that scenery was so great to watch. It was so cool seeing everybody. BB-8 was even with them. Like, I thought that was so fun. And R2, oh my god, C-3PO and R2-D2 in this movie, you guys.
They killed me. Like, there's that scene when they he had like said to him like, you're my best friend. Like, it was just like so many emotions, because those two have been through so much together, and C-3PO losing his memory was just, it wasn't like too sad. I thought they could have made that a lot more sad. I was really happy that R2 was able to give him back
his memory.
Yeah. I don't think it was like fully his memory, but he was able to like kind of give it back to him, and which was really, really nice. But yeah, it kind of like put some humor in there. Like I thought C-3PO gave a lot of humor to this movie.
It did. It was good. Like it could have. They really
like
could
it was kind of funny. Like when he was like, I'm C-3PO, like whatever, and they were just kind of like, this is gonna be a problem.
This is gonna go for a long time, right?
Yeah, because like they did it. Like he didn't know who they were, and it was just like really funny.
Yeah, it was funny. I love the humor in this movie. There was a lot of like really funny moments that I really liked. Like. I loved when Poe was like, you were a scavenger, you were a stormtrooper, we could do this all day or something like that. Like, I thought that was really funny. Like, that whole thing was really great. And, yeah, the humor was great, but we also really cried in this movie, you guys. Like, obviously the scenes we told you we cried at, but the entire ending of this movie with the Reylo butchered me. I was destroyed in the theater. Just the tears just running down my face. Like
so many tears. I could cry right now thinking about it.
I'm still emotionally damaged from this entire ending.
I mean, I loved the redemption of Ben though. It was done so well, and I was so proud of him.
I was just so happy.
It was so good. Like when you just see him running and like
and
he's
she knew he was coming. And she has the lightsaber, and they kind of like nod at each other, and they stare at each other like so hard, and like they know that they're in this together. Like they don't even need to say it; they just are. Like she knows it's Ben at that point. Like
that moment when the lightsaber disappeared, and it was like he had it. Oh, I love that. That was one of my favorite parts of the movie. That whole thing when like he showed up and he was fighting,
and then like the shot of like the two of them holding up the blue lightsaber.
Oh yes, and it was like them next to each other, and they both had it was like Luke and Leia's lightsabers. Oh gosh, guys. Oh,
listen.
Like to say we were devastated would be like an understatement. I mean, obviously we were so happy because like we got the kiss.
Everything that I wanted.
And it was wonderful. Like that moment was just so beautiful between them, and oh gosh, like
first of all, Palpatine takes the two of them and he takes both of their life forces to make himself like able to be alive or whatever. And oh my god, and then he pushes Ben like off the cliff, and then you don't see him, and then Rey comes in and she wakes up, and then she's fighting him, and I love that scene when she took both lightsabers and she crossed it, and she's like, and I have all the Jedi with me.
Yes! Because he was like, oh, I have all the Sith, and she was like, I have all the Jedi. And yeah, that's when she like rises up or whatever, It
was so great, and just like that whole thing was just... Oh my god, to watch that actually, like to watch Palpatine get taken down like that was so rewarding.
It was so satisfying.
And so great.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, obviously it took a lot out of her, but, you guys, when Ben comes out of that cliff, he crawls over to her.
Oh my gosh, he takes her in his arm, and he's hugging Rey's lifeless body, crying.
Okay, that was sad, right? And then he puts his hand on her stomach and he uses his life force to bring her back, and he brings all of his energy into it, and he heals
and it's happy for about 10 seconds.
And the kiss, you guys, our theater erupted in applause when they kissed, and
yes, our theater did erupt in applause.
And the intensity of that, and like her smiling, and she goes,
good kiss.
Ben, and then he's like smiling at her.
No, the Ben, when she says Ben, and she's so full of hope,
and she's so
they're
happy,
both
like they
so
could be
happy
together.
And then
they kiss.
Ben drops dead.
She kisses him first, and the kiss is really great.
Yeah,
and
the
then
kiss was wonderful.
After they kiss, he smiles so big at her. Like, we've never seen him smile ever.
No.
And his smile is just lit up, and he's so happy. And then the movie ends. The end. That's it. We're all done here. That's when the movie ends, in my opinion. Because then...
Oh gosh, guys, we were so upset. Like, the tears in the theater.
They did not need to kill Ben Solo, and I'm pissed.
Listen. We know why they did it, and
doesn't mean I'm happy with it.
I mean, obviously, we're just upset because we wanted a happy ending for them, but we understand why it didn't happen and why they didn't go that route, because he was the villain and like all of that and whatever.
No, but you know what? The Skywalkers have been through enough. Anakin was a slave. His entire life he was a slave. First he was a slave on Tatooine, then he was a slave to the Jedi, and then he was a slave to Palpatine. So, you know something? They went through a lot of shit, alright? And then we have his grandson who's going through the same thing that Anakin was, and he couldn't get that happy ending that Anakin didn't get to have. And he was abused like a lot of his life. Like, he didn't have a happy life, Ben, and it makes me so sad that he didn't get to live that happy life with Rey.
It did.
And he did it because he loves her. He gave his life to her. And listen, George Lucas said that this shit was a fairy tale in space. And you know something? Romeo and Juliet is not a fairy tale in my book. That was so tragic and so sad. And I wish that Ben lived. And in my mind, he did live. And
yeah. It was very,
but like, okay.
It was sad. It was definitely sad that Ben died. But
I get it. I get it.
But at the same time, you know, I mean, they kissed.
They kissed. So, you know, we got our Reylo. So
yeah,
there is that. And then the story ends where it began on Tatooine, with Rey claiming herself as a Skywalker, looking out into she brought the lightsabers there, and it ended with her looking out in the sun. And
like
Luke and Leia were there.
Yeah, and Luke. But I do still think that Anakin
or Ben should have been there.
Yeah. Also, yeah, exactly.
Why didn't we get to see him as a Force ghost? You know, you
that
took
doesn't
him
make
from
any
me.
sense. You literally kill him and you don't have him as a Force ghost. At
Why
the end.
didn't you let me
that
see him again?
That I thought was completely ridiculous, and that actually probably made me the most mad.
I'm really pissed about that.
Like, not even him dying, because I understand why they did that, but
yeah,
like
I get that.
Him not being a Force ghost at the end was completely like weird, stupid. I don't know why they did that.
I get
they show Luke and Leia,
but they can't show.
But
Ben
you don't
with
show
them.
Ben. Like, what, is Ben not with them? Like, that's
where did he?
Stupid. Was
Why
he not a
isn't he
Force
there?
ghost? Like, I know he became a Force ghost. Like, that should have happened. And like, even like, not even like, okay, you're not gonna put Anakin in that scene, but at least put Ben.
He should have been in that scene.
That was probably like my biggest problem.
Like, listen, storytelling wise, like, I get what they were doing, and it ended like the way it began with the sons and you know, being on, and like a lot of fans were saying that they think that she like went there to like live, and I think that she was just there to bring the lightsabers back, you guys.
Yeah, I think everybody's I
think everybody took that like a little bit too literal. I think that she was just bringing the lightsabers and then going back to be with like her friends.
Yeah, she's not living there like alone. That wouldn't make any
sense to her story.
Because she found this family of all of them, and she's not gonna be alone. So that wouldn't make any sense. So it's not that she went there like live alone in like a hut. Like, no, that isn't what they were trying to do. They were just having her
go full circle.
Exactly. They were trying to have it end the way it was with Luke. And
listen, storytelling wise, I get what they were doing, but it breaks my heart. And in my mind, Reylo got to live happily ever after, because I really wanted them to find that within each other, and they did, and then it was just taken away because of circumstances and everything that happened. But it's just really tragic, and I felt like, you know, Anakin and Padme didn't get to have their happily ever after.
Yeah, so we were hoping it would be like the reverse for them. Yeah,
so it was very sad to watch, but I get it, storytelling wise it makes sense, and it was just really hard and heartbreaking and still really sad. Like, I'm not getting over this for a while, you guys. But you know what? Revenge of the Sith always breaks my heart as well.
But it's still one of my favorites.
But it's still one of my favorite movies in the entire
I mean, don't get us wrong, guys. Obviously, we were devastated at the ending, but this movie was amazing.
This movie was amazing.
Overall, we really, really loved it.
Yeah.
Definitely the best out of the three.
Best out of three, for sure.
It definitely made up for a lot of the things from the last movie, I think. And
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I was very, very pleasantly surprised with The Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, I was happy with it. I really was. I think that there was obviously some things that we just talked about in the ending that we weren't like, we wish that they had done differently. But in total, it's Star Wars. We love it. It was a great movie, and we're going to see it again.
Of course.
And we'll probably do a ranking of like our favorite like Star Wars movies.
Well, yeah, now that this one's like done, we can definitely do that where we put them in like order of favorites.
I mean, they're all favorites. Like, we love the entire
but we'll rank them for sure.
I think ranking them will be a lot of fun to do. And obviously, we're still watching Clone Wars and The Mandalorian, so got a lot of Star Wars content that we'll be posting, and we're very excited about.
Very soon. And let us know what you guys thought of the movie down below. We'd love to hear your thoughts.
Please be respectful in the comments to everybody that is
giving their opinions. And yeah, let us know what you thought.
So again, let us know, and also be sure to check out our social media in the description box below.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you for watching. Bye!